Hello everyone, I'm Pallavi and I have been working on the front-end development of our animal detection mobile app. Today I'm excited to share our progress and design choices we have made to create a user-friendly experience. Let's take a closer look at our development process and how we brought our ideas to life. Firstly, once our ideas for the project was finalized, we employed effective collaboration and project management tools. We utilized Miro as our whiteboarding platform to map out our concepts and brainstorm various possibilities. Creating personas helped us gain insight into our target users, and we used that knowledge to refine our ideas further. On the screen, you can see here one of the personas we have created and the benefits of the persona. In that persona, you can see the Ronin, who is 8 years old. These are his needs, and our app served his needs that many ways. With the help of Moscow prioritization, we developed a clear roadmap for our MVP, determining the functionality that needed to be achieved. Moscow is must have, should have, could have, and won't have technique, which you can use to find out what goals you want to achieve, what functionality you want to achieve. MVP is the minimum viable product. So here on the screen, you can see our goals for the MVP. And once we're done with the MVP, we move on to the MVP++. Once our ideas for the MVP were finalized, we embraced agile methodology in our development process. To visualize and organize tasks efficiently, we used Trello board as our project management tool. This allowed us to organize and track progress of our daily tasks efficiently. As part of our agile approach, we conducted daily stand-up meetings to keep the team aligned and track progress effectively. These stand-up meetings provided a platform for each of the team members to share their accomplishment, discuss any challenges, and plan their tasks for the day. By fostering open communication and transparency, we ensured that everyone was on the same page and had a clear understanding of their responsibilities. With John as our project manager, we emulated a real work-life scenario with organized and structured approach to meet our milestones within a defined time frame. Moving on to the app itself, our primary focus for MVP was simplicity and intuitiveness. We wanted our app to be accessible for all the users regardless of the registration. With registration, users gain the ability to save their findings in a journal, while users without registration can still scan an animal and obtain the results without saving their data. To reflect on the natural environment, we carefully selected our color scheme for the app, which is green and yellow. Green represents the nature and the environment, while yellow complements it beautifully. This color combination perfectly aligns with our app's purpose and creates a visually appealing aesthetic. To further enhance our app's identity, we developed a logo which represents animals. The animated frame around the animals signifies the act of capturing images. We aimed for a logo that is not only visually engaging, but also instantly conveys our app's functionality to users. We are not designers, but we are extremely proud and delighted what the outcome of our app's design is. From technical perspective, our front end seamlessly communicates with the API server through HTTP request. This enables smooth exchange of data, enabling users to register and access apps features effortlessly. In summary, our app provides user-friendly experience with simple design, intuitive flow, and flexible registration options. Thank you all for listening, and now my friend Wendy will take over. Thank you.
Thank you, Pallavi. I'm proud of you. Pallavi is one of the parents from Brisbane. She has 2 kids. And thank you for her husband, the partner. Without the supporting partners, probably, today we won't stand here. So I introduce myself. I'm Wendy. I'm also one of the full-time parents and also full-time student at Holberton School. So now I'm going to introduce a couple of things what I learned about HamishGPT in testing. What is iOS Android Studio Emulator? So they are the tools allow developers to simulate some mobile devices and testing mobile applications on virtual devices without need of physical devices. In the first place, we are very excited when we first see the yellow screen in the middle. It looks amazing. And soon after, we realize the simulator doesn't have the full camera functionality. They do not support capture images, but it's okay. So we switch to our mobile device. It's a cute cat. Ooh, take a shot. When we enjoy the mobile device, take photos, we realize it's not always reliable. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work due to the local connection issues. In our team, I think apps probably use Apple phone is the most reliable, always working. My Google phone, sometimes connection is a bit slow, and with Matt, probably sometimes the service down. So if we want to just test backend codes, we want to see whether the code is working or not, what we can do. We don't want to connect it front-end server, backend server. It just take too much effort. So we find an amazing tool called Insomnia. Here the insomnia is not a sleeping disorder. Insomnia is the tool, and this is a free open source API testing debugging tool. This one helps the developer for the test backend of API endpoints. We send HTTP request and we will check the response and the status code. So as this example, we use the post method, create a resource, and we got 400 bad requests. Actually here, bad request is not bad. This is what we are looking for. That means our backend code is working. So far so good. Seems our testing is all working. As a software engineer, we've been expected to be a little bit lazy. We want to click one button and all the automatic tests done for us. I don't want to be always doing manual checking. I don't want to be like this guy. He looks like he needs coffee and tea. During the Holberton study, the journey, we did learn a brief unit test and automated tests. So during the time framework about our HamishGPT project, luckily, finally we did our automated testing. This is how we find the mocha and chai. Here the mocha and chai is not a coffee mocha or chai latte. It's the testing framework mocha and the asserting library chai. So these two combination of automated tests running on Node.js. We run the npm test and all the tests quickly run for us. So we did a test in the Docker container, which is help all the team member can share the same runtime environment for testing and running the Docker compose to solve the problem, which is called "It works on my machine." It sounds very good, but in reality, it's a different story. So during the testing, we're facing the issue, which is a couple of us in our team, like Jenny and Pallavi, they are on Windows machine. Windows is fine, nothing wrong with Windows, but they're not Docker's friends. They could not download the dependencies correctly. So they could not run the Docker. And this is how we are facing. It works on my machine, but not work on others. So this is our testing story. Thank you, everyone. Now I'm going to introduce Matt. He's another full-time parent from Greece. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Wendy. I'm just going to run you through a couple of the tools in which we use to overcome our biggest challenges. One of the most instrumental tools for us were code reviews. Early on in the process, we discovered it was incredibly difficult to get 5 people to work on a single project with any sort of coherency and cohesion, and that's where code reviews came in. Over our Holberton studies, we've had many formal and informal discussions around code and the quality of code, but here it was the disciplined and strict nature of the process that really made it much more effective. What we found was in having these reviews where we had a standard internally to meet and also a standard provided by John, it rapidly elevated the quality of our work. Not only that, but it also provided a really, really good opportunity for learning. I do know that I personally learned a lot through these processes. The earliest challenge we faced was just how enormous the prospect of implementing our own machine learning algorithm could be. We discovered early on that we didn't have the skills on board and we didn't have the capability all the time to build our own machine learning algorithm to serve our app's needs. And that flows neatly onto our second challenge, which was external APIs, whilst they're wonderful things, ultimately mean that you're relying on someone else's code on someone else's machine. And with the constraints that we provided ourselves, we couldn't find a purpose-built API that addressed our needs beautifully. And so what we found is we were really trying to push a square peg in a round hole, and we had to make compromises in both the function of our app and also the design of our app to accommodate for those. The third challenge I want to speak about is how difficult it was aligning the vision of 5 people. We all heard Jenny pitch one idea, and we all loved that idea, but in reality what we loved was 5 different versions of one idea. It was quite a difficult process in getting those visions to align. This is where a lot of the project management tools really helped out. They made us confront the differences early and often and made sure that we were all on the same page. The last challenge I want to talk about, and definitely the biggest, is the unpredictability and how uncontrollable life actually is. So 2 weeks into our project, my wife gave birth on our living room floor. Thank you. Thank you. To say that was a curveball is an understatement, but mine is not the only life challenge that we were thrown. We were fortunate or unfortunate enough to have school holidays land squarely in the middle of our project, and never have I been more appreciative of the fact that working parents have to survive 12 weeks of school holiday every single calendar year. I know that from my point of view, I put a lot of pressure on my teammates and they were able to stand up to that. And the impact of that was the quality and the consistency of the work that I was able to produce, and for the working parents also waxed and waned and was a significant challenge. But at the end of the day, that challenge didn't impact the quality of our project. And if anything, made us a stronger team as a result. So to wrap things up a little bit here, I'd like to acknowledge the institutions that made this trip possible for us. Big one in the room, Holberton Australia, wonderful course, love it. But also Reese, 1 Point and Sportsbet supported students. 1 Point especially because we used a lot of their facilities. And I would also like to have a big shout out for the creators of Baby Shark and Bluey, without which we would not have survived the school holidays. But there are faces behind a lot of the support we received. I'd like to thank Jed and Adam for facilitating a wonderful course. I'd like to thank Betty, the harshest linter the planet has ever seen. I would like to thank Hamish for letting us tarnish his beautiful appearance and wonderful name with this project. I would also like to thank the other Holberton students who helped us and supported us in our learning journey, but also left behind them a paths well trodden. Finally, and most importantly, I'd like to thank John, whose unwavering patience we never managed to fully wear down, and whose expertise and skills, whether he knows it or not, has definitely transferred to us. There's a cue there, apologies, I don't know how that got there. Conclusion cue. Our Holberton journey started 9 months ago, and it started with us learning how to use text editors. From there, it had us learning low-level programming, Python, test-driven development, data structures, a whole host of other things I'm forgetting. And as we all long to forget, how to implement pointers in C. But today we stand before you with a project built on technology that we didn't learn through Holberton, and I think that's a testament to not only the depths of the skills that we've learned, but also a testament to the people who shared this wonderful journey with me. Thank you to those people. So, if anyone has an African safari planned, please, I know a guy with a cool app.